Thinky stop. All right. We're going to do this a little different today. It's my first time streaming in a different spot. But we have fun stuff. I got a new sewing machine, and I haven't bought a new sewing machine since about the year 2000. So, my old sewing machine, actually, I should show you. My old sewing machine was this little beastie here. Really special, awesome little machine, big machine. This was my machine for 25 years. But its time has come and it has plastic gears and can't really be fixed. So I've had to come to terms with the fact that I have to retire it. It was my favorite because it ran on a Game Boy Color. So this was quite the amazing little feature. Runs on a Singer cartridge, 279 stitches, 3 alphabets, so you could do tiny little embroidered letters on the sewing machine. Without the cartridge, it would only go forwards and backwards. Not even a zigzag, no stitch controls, nothing, just speed. It was my favorite machine. It's really heavy duty inside, even though it's got like a plastic shell on it. It felt so sturdy and stable until it didn't. And so I have to let my little baby go. And I had two of them, and they both died about the same time. So I think it's just an age thing. So that brings me to where we are today. Today, we have a new machine. And I did quite a bit of homework. I didn't want to spend a lot because I don't sew a whole lot. I just sew for myself, just some clothing and stuff, maybe something for a friend or my husband, but not really enough sewing to justify $1,000 machine or more. I mean, there's a lot of machines out there. So I really wanted a low end machine, not a low end machine, but a basic machine. I really wanted it to be pink. I mean, come on, I have a type. I really wanted it to be pink. So I really got excited about the Singer heavy duty pink. But the one that was the right color pink that I really loved didn't even have an automatic or have a needle threader, which at my age with my eyesight, I really need a needle threader. So that took me back to the drawing board again. I looked at Janome, I looked at BabyLock. I did just a lot of comparisons for just a basic sewing machine. I didn't want, I've had a lot of brothers, and I do have a couple of extra machines here that I got for free that are brothers. I have an old Viking. They work, but none of them really have, they don't make me want to sew like my Singer Isaac did. And I haven't really sewn since it died now. So I really needed something that would make me want to sew, or I didn't need to buy it. So that brings us to my little baby Joy here. So the Baby Lock seems to have gotten some really good reviews, and I love that I got to go try it out at a local store. I went to Quality Sew and Vac in Northgate, and I actually got to sew on it and touch it and feel it. It's really basic compared to my Singer that had all the little bells and whistles, but from what I can tell, this newer Singer heavy duty ones just aren't getting great reviews. I really wish they did, because if I would have rather gone with something that I'm used to using. I have two Singer Surgers. I had two Singer Isaacs. I loved them, and I love teaching on them because they had a lot of controls for speed and everything else. So today we're going to unbox the new baby and see if it really makes me feel like sewing again. So I thought I would bring you all along on my journey because it's more fun with friends. So, and I will try and keep an eye on, well, it says we're doing cozy crochet. We're not doing cozy crochet today. We're unboxing our machine. So, and it's a surprise stream anyway, so I'm not even sure if anyone will show up. So, but I'm going to sit here and talk to the wall. And if you talk to me, I will try and keep an eye on the chat while I talk. Because again, I'm not used to streaming in this location, so I'm a little out of practice over here. But I do want to have a sewing station set up. So I would like to see, I think I'll probably put it on the other side so you guys can see what I'm sewing more when I'm sewing, or maybe from above. But we'll deal with that another day. All right, so we're cracking this baby open. All right, So we have a piece of cardboard. Yay, an exciting piece of cardboard. The cats will be very happy about that. Then we have a packet with a special offer. Special offer with my registration and all the booklets. The other thing it did come with is a 60-day trial of a sewing class, online sewing classes, which I honestly haven't taken a sewing class since seventh grade. I don't even want to think what year that was, but it was a long time ago. Let's see, 60, a long time ago. We'll just stick it sometime in the 70s, late 70s. So I think a lot's changed since then. And there's been a lot of things with even with my Singer Isaac, it had so many stitches, I never even used half of them, and I wouldn't know what half of them were for. And so I think, and with my serger, I was tempted to take a class, but I usually just wing it and figure things out. And so, that's how things happen. All right. I'm not sure what the best way to get this out of here is. I wonder if I should have just done from the bottom. We are going to, okay, so now you see just styrofoam. Yay, styrofoam. Usually I do this the barbarian method of just ripping the box open, but I'm kind of trying not to do that. Oh, here we go. All right. Technically, we're on box. There's no more box. All right. So on this side, we have our foot pedal and our power cord. Now we're to the barbarian stage of ripping it open. Shouldn't be anything I haven't seen before. It has its custom little attachment. You see this? It's got like a 3 little fold pin and normal power cord. It looks like it's plenty long, which is nice. I don't like when they're too short because then I can't plug them up. You can kind of see on the wall here, I have a giant storage box like you use in a shop that it's probably 6 feet long that I have outlets all along there. It's nice to have that many outlets, but I can't use them all at once or I trip the circuit here in the garage studio. So, we do what we can. All right. Yeah, that's a nice long power cord. Okay, so I'm going to plug in the power cord and I will run it behind the table and everything at some point soon, but at least that gets it out of the way. All right, so I'm going to take a peek to see which way's up. All right. Who wants to do it? Actually, I think I'll just take this off and we'll just lift it up. All right, so we take our styrofoam off. I am a little disappointed that it's styrofoam, so I'm gonna have to find styrofoam recycling for that. Well, or use Ridwell. We have our local one. So I'm gonna lift him up. Can you tell I'm not used to doing unboxing videos? There we go. All right, styrofoam. The one thing I did love about this, even though it's a pretty basic machine, oh, not that squeaky sound, is it? It's got pink out. It's got all the little pink on it. So at least it had some pink, even though I didn't get a whole pink machine. So it's really pretty basic. It has your backwards and forwards. It has basic stitches on here. It has a 4-step buttonhole, which I don't mind because even my Singer Isaac had that because that's all we had back then. I mean, 26 years ago now. I guess we're doing an ad break. Not sure when it's going to end though, because the computer with the actual notification is on the other side of the room. We will just keep rolling and hope for the best. Anyway, so honestly, I don't see anything that um, scary. That's the word. No electronics, just dials, and so it's got you match up the letters with the stitch you want here, and then the size of the length of the stitch, and the width of the stitch. Pay attention. It does have a needle threader here, which I'm really excited about. It has your bobbin winder, although honestly, I like using. I have this little Singer bobbin winder because you always run out of bobbin in the middle of a project, and I don't want to have to stop sewing to wind it as much. So, plus I've heard that you can wear it out faster with it. It can wear the motor out faster if you do a lot of bobbins on it. Not this one, but any machine, or at least way back when. So nothing really fancy. On this side, we have our power and where we attach our plug. And nothing really to worry about. It does have the thread cutter on the end as well. Surprisingly enough, that was a deal breaker for me. I have one machine that doesn't have that, and I keep like trying to tear the thread on the thread cutter that's not even there. And so here we are. All right, so I'm gonna say we plug it in and see how this baby works. Let's find the other end of this cord. How do I want to do that? Again, running it under the table, I think will be a better plan. Oh, come here, foot pedal. Get over here. At least it's a different color than my serger, so the foot pedal, well, it actually might match one of them, but it is a different color than one of my brother's foot pedals, so maybe I can keep the feet pedals straight. Hi, Teal Galaxies. Thanks for lurking. We had a surprise stream while we're unboxing my new little baby Joy here. My new little child. At least till my real child decides to steal it. So far so good. Nothing really exciting about it other than it's got pink accents, and I did get to try it out at the store. So doesn't have quite the same storage compartment that my Singer had. The Singer had really big compartments on both sides to hide candy in. Did you know that's what the secret compartments on sewing machines and Cricut machines are for? That's where you hide the candy. And so this came with a few attachments. It looks like there's the 4-step buttonhole. It's a little different than the one I'm used to using, so I'll have to play with that and see. I do have my old one too, so at least most of the controls are in about the same place that I'm used to having them on the Singer. I think the presser foot might be on the opposite side though. Anyway, so not a lot of bells and whistles. What? Flixer, you're not supposed to know where I hide my candy. Plus, you wouldn't like my candy. It's chocolate. And I haven't had to hide candy in a long time since you were a kid, since you were little. All right. Yeah, I think the presser foot one might take a little getting used to. I think it's where the brother is. It's kind of, you reach inside to do it. So, all right. Well, I'm going to give it a little whirl here. And the other good thing is it uses the same size bobbins that I already have. I could get you some Skittles or gummies if you want, Flixer, but you know. All right, so I'm just going to use some black thread so I can really see what I'm doing. I should grab a piece of fabric. Let's see. I have this really fun piece of rainbow fabric. I made myself a bustle out of this one. Isn't that cool? Looks like fishnets over rainbows. All right, so I'm just going to use one of my standard Singer bobbins. It opens pretty similar to my old one, which is also good. Because, you know, having something comfortable, I used to think I wanted an embroidery machine, but I I had one here for a little while. A friend of mine left one here to store for a while and said I could use it, and it was so intimidating. I love tech, but it just was a lot. So I probably should see which way. I did like that my old one had pictures of which way the bobbin went in, so when I'd forget. I know my brother and my Singer were backwards from each other, so I'm just going to take a quick peek and see which way this goes, because I think the BabyLock is made by the same company as brother, if I remember right. I did a lot of research, and now I get my wires crossed. But picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's see if we can find where it is. But ultimately, I just didn't want one that had so many features that I just wouldn't play with it. Okay, I lifted out the bobbin. Which way does the bobbin go back in? All right, yes. Okay, it does go that way. All right, so I put it in with the thread going counterclockwise. In there and up there. Okay. That is the way I'm used to doing it. So one more comfort level thing. Yay. All right. So we'll put some thread on here. On where? I'm pretty sure there's a peg somewhere I have to add there to put my thread on. Okay, where else the thread? Oh, it has a little hang off thing. That's what that other thing here is. Okay, so it doesn't have a vertical peg, it has a horizontal peg. So this little thingamabobber hangs off the back, probably. Clamps down on there, and then my thread will go on it, and then it probably has a little thingamabobber that holds it in place. There. All right, so it's got the little thread holder and then a little disc that holds the thread on the end that goes over the peg. Keep it from going anywhere. All right, and hopefully this part's pretty straightforward. Again, probably should look at the book. You know, before YouTube, we actually looked at pictures, and I really don't need to watch a whole video for it. I just need like guideline more than anything. Okay, yeah. All right, no, nothing special there. Goes across, under that, down here, up here, and catch in there. And it does have a needle in it already. Good. So there is a little thing in there somewhere. That way. Okay. That's a little different. I'm used to a little wire that I put the thread around. And this is a little different. Oh, actually goes to the left of it. The left of it, maybe. Oh, there we go. Yep, to the left. Then I pull a little lever down to catch the thread. It's been a little while, okay, guys? All right, I pull that down, and this goes around there, through there. Can I thread it? That was slick. Okay, that was impressive. Okay, so I'm pulling out my bobbin thread. That did the trick. And again, I think when we use this, when I'll do sewing for real, we'll probably have a camera right here mounted so you guys can see what all I'm doing. Because I know it's not probably very fun to watch what I'm doing right now. And Flixer, you could come downstairs and watch too. Just saying. Yeah, I decided to unbox my new BabyLock Joy. So I thought I updated the stream description, but it's over on the other computer, and I guess it didn't save it right. So, anyways, we're just gonna give it a shot. We got it thread out of the box, threaded, and I'm gonna see if I did it all right, you know, while on stream and stuff. So I have this fun little fabric. It looks like rainbows. And so I'm going to just stitch through a couple of layers and then fold it over and stitch through a couple more layers and see how we do with multiple layers of fabric. Because I'm really not going to do like, well, I don't say never because I usually don't do like 4 layers of denim or anything like that, but I've been known to. So I upholstered a couch once. My friend and I upholstered, it took us 3 months and we reupholstered her sectional sofa with a sofa bed in it. Is she still using it 20 years later? All right, so here we go. Maiden voyage seems to be threaded properly. And I'm going to see what kind of power is in it. It is quiet compared to my old one. But then again, my old one had a thumpy, thumpy, thumpy sound when the gears started breaking. All right. Well, okay, come on, thread cutter. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, just out of the box, the stitches are really nice and tight, so you can't see where the stitches are pulling apart or anything. So that's really cool. It's a nice, I mean, that's just the default settings with like a medium size stitch length and full stitch length, full stitch width. I think I will try one of the fun stitches now. So it has a couple of different stitches, not a lot because I didn't want a lot. Um, let's try an overlock stitch, because I do use this one sometimes when I don't want to pull out the sergers. Although now I actually have a friend of mine gave me her mom's Singer serger that's the Merit Lock version. I had an inexpensive Singer Pro Finish from probably 10, no, 15 years ago now. Um, but the Merit Lock is much older than that. So now I have two sergers though. Neither one are very fancy. They're pretty much identical to thread them and everything, which is nice. Because once the thread breaks, it takes at least an hour to get it threaded. Well, maybe not that long now, but the first time took me 2 hours, or when I was first learning how to do it. Um, the Singer Merit Lock, you actually have to take part of it off to thread it properly, like part of the casing. So that was kind of annoying. But I always hated to change the thread because if I broke it, then I'm sitting there rethreading it instead of sewing like I want to be sewing. Anyway, so I do love when I can do an overlock stitch. I'm just going to try it on, let's try it on this side over here. I did serge a couple of edges on this when I was playing around on something else. All right, so we're just going to overlock these edges and see what it looks like. All right, so I do have that set to D. And then, oh, special stitch. There we go. Special stitch, plus or minus. Okay, well, it has been a while since I've not had computerized sewing machines. So I just wasn't intrigued by having a really motorized sewing machine. I mean, not motorized, computerized sewing machine. Because again, they just are really pricey, and if something breaks, it's a lot more expensive to fix it. All right, well, that doesn't quite look like the stitch I meant to do, but I did run it off the edge, so. But it's nice and clean, and you kind of see there. The stitches are nice and even. It doesn't skip them or anything. That's the front side. But yeah, I think it's a win. So now I'm gonna fold this and do a couple more layers. Let's see, so that'd be 2, 4, 6. So we're gonna do 6 layers and see what it does here. So I basically took my hem that I folded over once and I'm folding it again and then rolling it on top of itself. So we have 6 layers. We'll see what kind of heavy duty it can do here. Because again, not what I do every day, but there are times when you have to go over thick seams and stuff. So how's the sound of it on there? Is it real loud while I'm sewing? Actually, I want to go back to the regular stitches, go back to 2, and hey. So I think my Singer was able to go a little faster. I think this one is 800 stitches per minute. My sergers can do 1100. I think my Singer Isaac was probably close to serger speeds. Actually, this one seems like it might be even a little slower than that but anyways, but that's okay. It's got a nice feel to it. It's nice and smooth. Doesn't I actually kind of like that it doesn't go too fast. And actually there may be a control on the foot pedal. Because sometimes I teach kids to sew, and when I use the brother that I got for free, it has no speed control. It has go and scooch to a stop. There is nothing in between, and the kids terrify me that they're going to run over their fingers, especially neurodivergent ones. Most recently, yeah, that was terrifying. Um, so yeah, so that went through 6 layers, no problem at all, no jams, everything just nice and smooth. You can kind of see nice and smooth, strong stitches. I think that's going to work great for garments because honestly, I use the sewing machine for the assembly, but then I use the sergers to finish the inside seams. So really, most of the time I'm just doing straight stitches anyways. So I just wanted a basic machine that would just get the job done. So anyways, well, I don't think I'm going to take too much longer, but I just thought it'd be fun to share the unboxing and trying out my new little baby. I think it definitely will inspire me to at least sew more because I do miss my really nice machines that I had for so many years, and I was just so used to using them that it was hard to switch. And so, anyway, so maybe we'll do more sewing projects. I have a couple of really fun patterns. I have a long skirt that I make. Um, it's like almost floor length skirt. I probably have four of them. Oh, thanks. I love my hair color too, but it really needs to be updated. It's kind of grown out a little. You can see it's been almost a year since I had it dyed, so I really need to refresh it soon and get it trimmed because it's getting a little shaggy around the edges. But hopefully soon I'll get that taken care of. Anyways, thank you all for joining me tonight to welcome my new little baby lock Joy, my new baby Joy, and all its little pink accents because I have standards. Yeah, I could get a really expensive electronic machine, but it wasn't pink. So I really wanted to like the Singer 4411. It was the perfect color to match my hair. But the reviews just, I couldn't do it. So this was the best one from all my research so far for a nice entry level, good quality machine. They have cheaper machines. And actually, Costco has a black Singer heavy duty right now that was comparable to, because I was looking at the Singer heavy duties, but the reviews just, it's only $139 for the Singer heavy duty black. And it, very gothy too, which is nice. But I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel like getting a machine just to use for a few months and then have it die because a lot of the reviews said you might get a few months. Some people had luck with it, but there were just so many reviews that didn't, that I just didn't want to take that chance. So anyways, I love that I got to try this out in person locally because I could see if it felt right. That was one of my biggest concerns, that I get a machine and it just didn't feel right. So anyways, so this is my new baby. I'm sure we'll be doing some more sewing. If there's, it also came with 60 days of sewing classes, which I haven't taken sewing classes since seventh grade. We talked about earlier, but but I'm kind of excited to take a couple of classes and just see what's changed in 40 years. Anyways, actually more than 40 years. We're not going to talk about that. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Join me for crochet, for sewing, 3D printing, Cricut. I'm hoping to get the camera different stations set up so we can move around and do different projects. At some point soon, I will have this room finished and I can get a 360 camera so we can walk around the room and you guys can join me. But I kind of want to get all the stations set up with individual cameras too so we can work on individual projects. So if there's something you want to see or a project you've always wanted to try, I've probably dabbled because I have ADHD, and welcome to my craftorama. I rarely meet a craft I don't like and buy all the things to make and then get distracted by a new craft. But crochet I've stuck with for 52 years, so I think that one's going to stay. Sewing, I have loved sewing since I took my first class in seventh grade. So, although my yarn is taking over from my fabric, used to be all those cubbies were full of fabric, and now most of it's yarn for crochet. So, it's coming around. All right. Well, I will see you all probably tomorrow afternoon, about 3:30 Pacific time. And we'll see what we want to. Maybe we'll finish up the dragon tomorrow for crochet. I've been working on another copy of the dragon, so we're hoping to release the prototype pattern for the dragon May 1st. So I've got to finish that dragon and get him tested. Anyways, I will see you all probably tomorrow for crochet and probably a lot more sewing soon because I'm really getting excited about actually, using this new baby. All right. I will talk to you all soon. Take care. See you tomorrow. Gotta come over here off because I can't reach it from there. All right. See you all soon.